Apartments or condos, should I rent or should I own? Escrow, leasehold. Everything you can need.
Welcome to Real Estate After Dark. I'm your host with the most, doing the most, Larry Casselberry. And to my right today,
Jim King.
Joan King. What's up? How are you?
I am good, Larry. How are you?
Staying busy.
I know, summer.
Putting a lot of miles on my car. I know that.
You know what? I was looking at, I think my AC is kind of going out.
You
Or
need to
maybe
go
it's too
get that
hot.
checked immediately.
I've been
No
so
cold
busy.
front is going to save you. Not even the one we just had. It's not going to save you.
Larry, you know that I don't even like washing my car.
Oh, well.
So
That's a big percentage of a whole lot of people.
I know, right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, cool.
Well, we have a guest here today.
All right.
To my right, we have Krystal Hamilton from Prosperity Credit. We said we was going to bring a credit specialist in. And Krystal, how are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you came.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Krystal, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm Krystal Hamilton. I just got married in April. I have 4
Congratulations.
kids. I am a credit specialist, so I specialize in helping individuals improve their credit. I own a credit repair company out here in Dallas, but we work with clients across the whole country. So
Okay.
Okay, perfect. How long have you had the credit company?
So I've had the company for about almost 2 years now, but I've been doing credit repair for more than 2 years.
Okay.
Great. Awesome. So tell us, Krystal, what made you get into credit repair?
So it's actually is a very interesting story. So when I started credit repair, I didn't have any intention of actually doing credit repair. It kind of came from real estate. So when I had my daughter, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to stay at home with her and not really have to work the 9 to 5. So I was just thinking about different things that I can do. And one of the things that I thought about was investing in real estate. So I wanted to become a landlord. I didn't know what being a landlord was. I didn't come from a family that was able to teach me about that process or what it meant to own real estate, how to invest in real estate. So I just did my own research. And the first thing that I found out about was credit. I went to a mortgage lender. I tried to get approved for a loan and I was denied. And so when I was denied, he told me it was due to credit. So, I'm, a mother of 4. I desperately want to be at home with my kids. And at this point, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get to that goal.
Of course.
So when it came to credit, I was like, I'm not going to let credit, stop me. But, I had the money. I had the job history. I had the income. I had the savings account, but I did not have the credit score. So the credit score was the one thing that was holding me back from accomplishing such a big goal that I had. I went to a couple of different companies and they were trying to charge me an arm and a leg to fix my credit. I didn't want to pay that at that time. So I just learned how to do it myself. And it took me a while to learn the process. It's not something that you can learn overnight, but I taught myself. I went to classes, I educated myself, and I invested into myself to understand the craft of credit and how to repair credit and what that really meant. So I did that. And when I did it, I was like, I really like this process. So, I prepared my cousin's credit, and I did her credit for free. Her credit score went up and I just kind of practiced my craft. And after a while, I decided to, build Prosperity Credit Repair. And so that's how that came about.
Man,
So,
what an awesome story.
yes.
That is.
And,
what an awesome story.
I
That's
was
awesome.
actually able to come back and, go back to the same lender a couple months later and was actually able to get finance for my property. And now today I'm actually a real estate investor and I own property. And I profit from that every month. And I couldn't have done that without having a good credit score.
Yeah.
That's right. Get that residual income. We
Absolutely.
Like
Credit
Being
is
a boss.
Yeah. So credit is one of the most important thing for anything, right?
Yes.
So credit is like your name, right?
that. Right.
And so what I like about your story, Krystal, is that you've been through that process.
Mm-hmm.
So where you couldn't qualify for a home loan. And so like some people, how like you go into business with someone or they doing something, they never been through that.
Right.
How can they relate
they
to
know?
you?
Yeah.
So you're very relatable because you've been through that process. So you know how important it is to own your own home and what you need to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I like that story. That's
I
great.
do.
Thank you.
I think with all the listeners listening out there, they can automatically gravitate towards that because they may be in the same spot.
Right.
They may be like, my credit is not the way it used to be, or it's not as strong as, as I like it to be. But them knowing that you went through the process yourself and seeing a start and an ending point.
Exactly.
And everybody's duration is going to be different depending on the situation. But I mean, if you told me that story, I'd be like, what do I need to sign up at?
Exactly. Absolutely.
I love it.
One of the things is that a lot of times, because I do the financing. One of the things is a lot of people don't know what their credit is. They're so nervous to like pull their credit, whatever. It's not gonna hurt, right? It's not gonna hurt because you don't know where you are. You need to know where you are, and even if you're bad, then you can get back on track.
Right.
So that's the most important thing.
And there's different types of credit. Like I've learned, like if you're trying to get like a phone or something like that, that's like a different type of credit score. If you're trying to get a house, that's a different type of credit score. That's a FICO score, right?
Right.
So I didn't realize that it was like different levels of how they pull your credit.
So what's the levels, Krystal? Because I think you told me once before.
So there's not really necessarily levels, but there are different score versions.
Right.
So you're right. So if you were to go and try to apply for a car, right, that car dealership or that company may give you a certain credit score. But if you were to go to June to get a mortgage, June is going to pull a different credit score because there's different score versions.
Right.
So that's actually one of the things that a lot of people, it's a misconception because a lot of people think that there's just one credit score.
Of course.
So the credit is, calculated the same, as far as the percentages. 35% of your score is based on your payment history. 30% of your score is based on how much credit you use. However, there's different score versions. So you're never going to get the same credit score. If you look on Credit Karma, if you go to a lender, they pull your credit, it's always going to be a different score.
Of course.
Right.
The same way with like all three bureaus.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I still can't figure out because everybody's like, why I got 3 different scores? But I think what I tell them, but I could be wrong. So you let me know if I'm wrong, if I'm telling them the wrong thing. Because like, say if you have auto loan through Chase Bank. Chase might only report to 2 credit bureaus.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
So that's kind of how you're getting like the different scores. And from a mortgage standpoint, they take the one in the middle.
We do.
Right? You have a low, high, and the one in the middle. Okay.
Yes.
So a lot of times is if you're educating that with your clients, they're trying to get their credit repaired. It's like, hey, we're trying to get you here.
Right.
To kind of get you qualified. And that's what kind of keeps things moving.
Perfect. Well, great. Well, we're going to go into questions for Krystal.
Okay.
All right.
So we can learn about credit.
Rapid fire.
Yes, absolutely. So what questions do you have, Larry?
Me? I mean, you answered a lot of it like in your bio and in what you went through as far as getting credit repaired. Me as a consumer, I would ask like, how much would it cost me?
Okay. So our company, we charge a one-time rate, and that rate is a $500 that covers your credit audit. So with the credit audit, we basically will fully analyze your credit report. Okay. So just like if you were to go to a doctor and they were going to pull your lab work, they're going to look at your lab work and, figure out, what's actually going on. So my job and my team's job is to fully analyze your credit report, tell you what's going on with it, what's helping you, what are you doing right now that you may not even know you're doing that's actually helping your score, what are some things that you're doing wrong or that you can improve on, that may be hurting your score, and we kind of go through a game plan. So this is what we're going to do to help you reach your goal. And all of our services are customizable. We talk to our clients. We want to know what your goals are, what is it that you want to do, and then we kind of give you a roadmap to help you accomplish those goals. So that is $500, and it also covers you for 6 months of credit repair services. So you can stay in our program for, up to 6 months if you choose to do so. We also provide discounts for individuals who have gone through the foster care system. And the reason being is because I actually grew up in foster care. We also provide discounts to military veterans. My husband is a veteran, so I provide those discounts as well too. If you're active duty or not, it doesn't matter. And then we also provide discounts to those who receive government assistance. Being that I wasn't, fortunate, I grew up in a low income area. I grew up in poverty most of my childhood. So to kind of give back to my community, I do offer discounts for those individuals who receive any type of government assistance, whether that's food stamps, SNAP food stamps, Medicaid, SSI. If their kids receive CHIP or Medicaid, then we will discount it by $100, so that price goes down to only $400.
Oh, that's
Man,
pretty
do
awesome.
y'all hear that?
That
That
helping the
is like
community. That's
crazy.
like really awesome.
Yes.
I love it. I mean, I
Yes.
really, it's, the more and more we talk to you, the more I'm just touched because
Yeah.
a lot of we grew up in these exact same situations, and I know
Exactly.
our listeners, they grew up in these exact same situations. So it's definitely relatable. And I just commend you from being
Thank
able to
you.
offer so many different avenues for people. And
Absolutely.
that is
Because everyone
huge.
need help, even if you
Yes.
don't want to buy a
That
house
is huge.
or you just want to have good credit. So when you go buy a car,
Mhm.
you get a good credit, and just the education part, right?
It is. Yes.
People think, cash is king because I hear that all the time,
Yeah,
right?
course.
It truly is. But credit is super important
Very
because
much.
credit is really tied to your name.
Sure is.
And so something might happen that you need to do something very quickly. You don't want to have to pay extra money because you have bad credit.
Or
Right.
no credit.
Right.
Right.
Sometimes having no credit hurts too. So you saying cash is king, I've actually heard that a lot of
Me
times
too.
as well too. So I was actually speaking with a client a couple months ago, and he literally had paid cash for everything he owned, his house, his
Mhm.
car. He never had credit, but it got to a point where he wanted to build and grow his business,
Yeah.
and he needed
need
the
it.
capital to do that. And the only way to get the capital is by having a good reputation with the banks.
Mhm.
So and lenders. So in order to prove your reputation, they're going to look at your credit report.
Right.
That's your resume. That's your financial report card.
That is true.
So we can't really, they can't really determine if you are a qualified buyer or if you are good with your finances if you don't have anything to prove. So we help individuals build credit as well too. So
Yeah.
if you don't have enough credit, if you don't have any credit, we educate you. We literally walk you throughout the whole process to get you where you need to be.
Yeah, I understand that because there's entrepreneurs out there that say, "Oh, I want to grow my business," but you can
Mhm.
only grow your business to a certain point using just your cash that you have.
Mhm.
Exactly.
If you really want to take it to the next level, you do have to go out there and get a loan,
Mhm.
and so you can able to reach more people with your product and to be successful. So it's good to look at it in that. We're not looking for people that just want to look at houses, but people that want to expand, their business mindset as entrepreneurs. I think it's good to kind of look in, a bigger scope
Yes.
when we talk about, credit.
Absolutely. And then also too, and so I know we don't have time today, so we're going to invite Krystal back because Krystal also does business credit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Huge. That's
Mhm.
a huge game
Mhm.
changer. So if you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to kind of learn how not to use your credit,
Right.
but use business credit to
Mhm.
be able to because I think entrepreneurship is just the best.
It is. I mean,
Yeah.
I
this-
mean, you work hard,
you do.
but you
And
if
we
you-
all
yeah,
strive to want to
You
get to
work
that level.
hard,
I hope we
right.
want to be our own bosses.
absolutely.
I know
absolutely.
I totally want to be, but like I said, is if any of our listeners are listening out there and they're thinking, I know a lot of people out there that are entrepreneurs
right.
and they do very well for themselves. Like, hey, let's just take this to the next step. Let's find this roadmap.
absolutely.
Let's definitely give her a call. And how can they reach you?
So you guys can reach me at 888-302-4248. Or you can email our office at info@myprosperitycredit.com.
All right.
Perfect. Great.
Cool. I love
Also
it.
great. So Krystal has the hookup. Okay. She
She
has
does.
the credit repair. She has also the business credit. And we're gonna invite her back again to talk about
Definitely.
the business credit.
Mhm.
And so remember, don't be afraid of your credit. Your credit is
Mhm.
only hurting you when you don't know
Exactly.
where
Or
you
do
are.
anything
Right.
about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's
Yeah.
do something about it
Yeah.
Absolutely.
for sure.
Well, that was great.
Yeah.
We had a great show. Thank you, Krystal, for coming out.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
short time, but definitely. I'm inspired. I got goosebumps over here. So, I mean, I just love people doing great things in the community
Mhm.
and great things with their business. And it just brings a smile on my face. The fact that, I met you today and I got a chance to learn some stories from you
Mhm.
Mhm.
and you have an awesome thing going. And so I want to personally thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
Wow, that was really great.
Hey, you
I
gotta
want
do
to
what I
personally
can
thank
do.
you too, Krista.
Thank you.
Great. Well, guys, thanks for coming out today. We really appreciate you.
That's right.
Blessings.
Willis Say After Dark, guys. Blessings, and we see you next time.